Okay, these are quick examples for the inequality and interval notation. So if we look at the first example of this graph, we can see that it starts at -3 and ends at 5. So -3 is my lowest x value, and 5 is my highest x value. Since -3 has a dark hole, it means it's included. So I have to include an equal sign to the inequality. And since the 5 is an open hole, that means it's not included. So I cannot include an equal sign. Okay, if you forgot, just remember, the black dark circles means I have enough ink to type an equal sign. And if it's opened, that means I don't have enough ink for an equal sign. So basically this is saying that x is greater than or equal to -3, but it's smaller than 5. So all the values between -3 and 5 are included for x, but 5 is not an x value. To put that in interval notation, simply, the smallest value is -3, so it goes on the left. The highest value is 5, it goes on the right. If it's included, that means it's an equal sign, dark black spot, then it gets those brackets. They look like lines. If the value is not included, it's an open circle, it gets the curvy parentheses. Okay, one more example. If you look at this graph, the smallest x value is a 2 with an open circle, so the 2 is not included. So simply, it's just x is greater than 2. If you do it in interval notation, 2 is the starting point, and then it goes on forever. We cannot reach the biggest value, so we call it infinity. 2 is an open circle, so it gets the curvy parentheses. And infinity is always treated as an open circle because it does not have a fixed value that we can reach. So it also gets the curvy parentheses. So anytime you have infinity or negative infinity, you treat them like an open circle with the curvy parentheses. Okay, let's look at number 6. The reason I want to do number 6 is because the inequality notation given here has 2 separate inequalities. That tells me that there is a gap or a hole in my graph. So always start graphing first, since it's easier when you have a visual picture of what's going on. So it says here that x is less than 1. So I can go to where 1 is, and I know that x has to be less than that. That means my graph is going to go this way, because less means left. Less means we go left. And I don't see an equal sign. There's no equal sign here. So I know the 1 did not have enough ink to put an equal sign. It's an open hole where 1 is not included. Now, the second inequality says x is greater than or equal to 5. So I know I'm starting at 5. So 5 should be here. And I know x is greater than, that means I'm going to go right. So greater than we go right, less than we go left. So greater than, I'm going to start going right all the way. And I know it has an equal sign, so my 5 has to be an included value. So that's why we have 2 lines or 2 inequalities. Because these values between 1 and 5 are not included for x. Okay, let's put that in our interval notation. Okay, I know that I have 2 chunks, 2 inequalities, 2 lines. Therefore, I'm going to have 2 interval notations. So between the 2 interval notations, we have OR, which in the interval notation, we notate it as union, a U. That means it could be this interval or this interval. So when x is less than 1, I don't know where it started. I don't know what's the lowest value of x. So that means it's a negative infinity because we don't really know an exact value. But we know it ends at 1. 1 is an open circle, so it gets the curvy parentheses. Negative infinity is treated as an open circle since we don't know, we can't define a value for negative infinity. So it also gets the curvy parentheses. Then the second part will be x more than 5. So the smallest x value is a 5. And then it goes on forever, which is infinity. Again, we can't tell what value infinity is, so it gets the open hole. But 5 has a black spot, so we know we have enough ink to fill it. Therefore, we're going to use the brackets. That means my 5 is included for the values of x. Okay. So I want you guys to play with the table a little bit just to make sure you understand the difference between inequality notation and interval notation and how to write both formats for any given graph. Okay, this is an answer to the problems on the table. I hope you guys practice. You can check your answer. And if you have any questions, you can contact me.